Welcome back, Rachel. You were here quite a year ago, and boy, there's so many new exciting things to share, right?
Yes, thank you for having me back. And there have been a lot of good changes over the last year, a lot of growth.
I want you to, because I did allude to the fact that with your basic credential, your education, Master of Science in Nursing. So tell me a little bit about yourself, because we have new listeners since the last time you were on, and you're doing a lot of new things. So give us a little background on who you are.
Sure. So I started off my career in medicine back in 2005 as a registered nurse. I worked for many years in a lot of the top Boston hospitals and gained some really great experience doing that. Decided to go back to school, and I pursued becoming a family nurse practitioner with the intention of working in primary care, but my path kind of changed during my training, and I ended up starting in regenerative medicine. And that's where I fell in love with these natural options for pain management. And we just have been going full steam ahead with that.
This has been a great niche. I mean, things have really changed over the last couple of years for what you do. And you probably didn't see it coming initially, right?
Yeah, so initially when we opened, it was meant to be regenerative medicine, pain management, natural options, instead of going in for, say, a knee replacement surgery or a steroid injection, which has a lot of side effects with it. We have these other options, such as prolotherapy, platelet-rich plasma, that we can inject and get people to actually heal themselves. Our bodies are capable of healing themselves. And that is what I love. That is my passion. But somehow the business has transitioned into part that and also part medical aesthetics. We actually won in 2021. We won the Best of the 603 for Best Med Spa in New Hampshire.
Congratulations.
And I remember, thank you, but I remember looking at my staff and saying, we're a med spa. Like, I never had the intention of owning and running a med spa, but that is one half of our practice. So that's been unexpected, but a welcome change as well.
So the medical aesthetics part, just for a second to mention that, before we went on the air, you indicated that COVID had a bit of a hand in creating perhaps a little more appetite for this aspect of your business.
Absolutely. Yes. The field of aesthetics was growing before, but I think the fact that people were in lockdown for a while, they're working from home. Some people are still working from home. And we're just seeing ourselves more. We're looking at ourselves more. We're seeing ourselves in the mirror multiple times a day. We're seeing ourselves on Zoom, which nobody looks good on Zoom.
Oh, you just made a face.
Yeah.
I wish this was TV.
Yeah, because I'm picturing myself, how I look on Zoom, and it's just not pretty. And I think it brings up those small things that bother us about ourselves. And people are really looking to do something to kind of treat themselves. And I've had a lot of people say, this is the year I do something for me. Whether it's a mom who's been focused on raising her children, her family, somebody who has just retired. We have a lot of those people, too, who just say, you know what, I'm going to do something for me to make myself feel good. It's not for anybody else. It's for me.
And so many moms tend to put themselves last.
Absolutely.
I don't know if that's how women are hardwired. I think that's part of it.
Well, you're looking at one right now.
Okay.
So we take the back burner. Our kids, their needs are met, which is great, but a lot of times we leave our own self-care and our own needs just out there to not be met. So
okay, I want to get to some of the specifics of that,
sure.
but first, I want to follow up on something that you shared with us last time you were in. I'm talking to Rachel Marino Health and Wellness in Londonderry. You had a new process, or I guess a new procedure, medical covered knee protocol. Boy, I bet there's a lot of call for that. So
yes.
How did that start, and where does it stand now?
So the whole reason why we added that in is because regenerative medicine, like I said, that's my passion, that's my love. I love doing it. The problem is insurance does not cover it. So when clients come in, and there's sometimes a little bit of sticker shock, even though we do have a wide range of treatment options that vary in price, some people are looking for whatever insurance covers. And unfortunately, a lot of times what that is something that may not be the best option for them. So what we added was it's a hyaluronic acid gel injection. Medicare covers it, and a few of the private insurers will cover it as well. So we've kind of opened ourselves up to this whole other client base. And we've seen, there's days where we have just one after another for this knee program. And the results have been incredible. It's blown me away. I kind of went in thinking, okay, maybe we'll help some people, but we've helped so many people with this, and it's a very, very low failure rate with it. I love that it's a natural product that we're injecting. I love that it's not an out-of-pocket expense, so there's really no risk to the person coming in. It's either, okay, you're looking at a knee replacement, or let's try this first.
So I'm wondering what types of injuries or situations lead to this particular desire to get this fixed. Is it maybe former athletes or people who've just injured themselves on the job, or wear and tear? Why are so many people getting this procedure?
It's a little bit of everything. So it's most people who come in, it's osteoarthritis. Some people are just genetically predisposed to have that at an earlier age than others. For other people, it's they were an athlete. We see a lot of people who work in construction, a lot of people who are doing things like laying down hardwood floors, and they're on their knees every single day. So there is some of it is the wear and tear being hard on your body, and other people it's just unfortunate.
The genetics situation in some cases?
Yep, and we hear them, they come in, they say, my mother had to have this, my brother had to have this, my sister. And a lot of times people are looking for those options. Surgery really, in some cases, should not be the go-to option. Not that I'm against surgery. There are so many places where it is needed, and there are people that do need the knee replacement. But if there is this option to kind of exhaust those non-surgical treatments, why not give it a shot? Literally, why not give it a shot?
Just came up with the new slogan for your business.
Yeah, but we've been really surprised with how well people are doing with this, even when they've been at that end stage, as they come in and say bone-on-bone arthritis, which is that famous term that people like to use when they're at an end-stage arthritis. But we've got them walking again. We have them walking without their canes and their walkers. They're going up and down stairs, not doing one step at a time. They can actually walk normally up and down stairs. And it's life-changing for them, and it's life-changing for us to be able to offer that to people.
And it's great now that Medicare and some private insurers do cover it. And
Yes.
I thought it's worth mentioning because, facts of life is we have to pay for things. You have access to care credit, which I'm somewhat familiar with, as my wife had a fair amount of dental work done, and she found it easy to navigate. And so you make that available as well, right?
We do, yes. A lot of people are looking for a financing option, and there are options where they can even do 0% interest for a certain period of time. So it really works out that they can get on a payment plan rather than upfront if it is for one of the cash-based services.
Yeah, so why let that get in the way of a better quality of life? And that's what struck me about what you do at Merino Health and Wellness is really improve people's quality of life. Would that be a good way to sum it up?
That's the goal, and that's really what we see. And our clients that come in, and they are just so thankful when they come back. And a lot of them want to travel. We've been locked up for years, and they've had to put cruises on hold and trips to Europe on hold. And even some people, I had a grandmother the other day who said, I want to go to Disney, and I don't want to be in a wheelchair the whole time. I don't want my grandkids to see me being wheeled around Disney. So we're working on her knees right now, and it's definitely making big changes for a lot of people, and we're so happy to be able to do that.
It must be nice to hear those stories because it makes it real. I mean, you're in there day after day doing what you have to do, seeing a lot of people, but when you get the story, it makes it so much more real. The Disney connection, how many people can't relate to that?
Exactly, and we become very involved in our patients' lives. I say we truly are partnering with them on their pain management journey. It's not just you come in, we inject your knee, see you later, hope it works. It's we really we become. Most of them like that, that we become so involved in them because they're not used to that. They're not used to the follow-up calls, the follow-up visits, the actual care and concern for their healing process. But I tell people at their consultation, this may sound funny, but I want you to get better just as much as you do, and I truly do.
You're listening to Local Business Spotlight on 99.9 and AM 1370 WFEA. And my guest on Local Business Spotlight this morning, Rachel Marino from Merino Health and Wellness at 50 Nashua Road in Londonderry. I believe I misspoke earlier and gave the wrong street name. I don't want to be sending people other places because you're doing important work, things that make people feel better about themselves, make them feel better in general, with the aches and pains. So let's get into the feel better about yourself aspect of your business, which I sense has been one of the fastest growing parts. And let's begin with weight loss. How can you help people at
Sure.
Merino Health and Wellness with weight loss?
Yeah, so that's a newer treatment that we've started offering is actually a medication-assisted weight loss program. We've been doing body contouring, both non-invasive and invasive, for quite some time, and we have a lot of different options for people. But we have had several come in who have just said, I have that stubborn pocket of body fat that no matter how hard I work out, no matter how healthy I eat, I feel like it just will not budge. And there's this new medication that's kind of been sweeping the nation that people have been using. It was originally for type 2 diabetics, but it's recently been approved by the FDA for weight loss. So it has really become a great tool that we can offer people to get rid of that excess body weight that they carry. And it's a pretty simple way to do it. They come in once a week for a small injection in the abdomen. So if you think about similar to an insulin injection for a diabetic, so tiny needle, really no pain involved with it. And we see results very quickly. We're seeing it within the first week that people are losing weight. And we've had upwards of over 30 pounds that people have lost over the 4-month program.
And people want to see things quickly because they see all these commercials on TV where it's the before and after thing.
Yes.
And it's not always quite that easy, but at least it sounds as though you're on that path with this particular procedure.
Yes, it's been working very, very well for everybody that's been doing it. We have men on it, women on it, all different ages. The main thing is that you have the weight to lose. It wouldn't be for somebody who just has in excess 3 pounds that they want to get rid of. But if people come in and they say, I have 25, 30, 80 pounds that I want to lose.
Wow, it can go that high. Huh?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Wow.
Yep. So we plan it as a 4-month program, and then we kind of reassess at that time. But the good thing about it is that we're also doing weekly check-ins. So every week when you come in and get your shot, we're not only weighing you, we're also going over what has your diet been like, what has your activity level been like, what is your water intake.
People need to be accountable at their end of things, right?
We hold them accountable as well because we are partners in this program, and we can do what we can from our end, but it also has to be, you have to be invested in it.
Mm-hmm.
And,
sure.
Yeah, but the good thing is that when you actually see those changes on the scale, it makes you want to keep doing things the right way.
Yes. Let's talk a little bit about sexual wellness, shockwave therapy for ED in men. I hadn't heard about that.
Mm-hmm.
And women who, in some cases, may lose a degree of their libido.
Mm-hmm.
So fill us in a little bit about that. I think more people than would like to admit are very interested.
Yeah, and I think they just don't know what's out there. I think a lot of people suffer from this, and either they're embarrassed to talk about it or bring it up. It's not something that gets addressed a lot of times. If you go in for your physical, you're not necessarily being asked about it. And it's actually a very important thing because erectile dysfunction in men is a big indicator of your circulation in your body. And you could have other medical conditions going on. So it is a good question to really kind of dive into and ask about because we want to treat the whole patient. We look at the patient as a whole, not just when they come in. We're not just looking at their knee or their face. What is going on overall in your life. So shockwave therapy sounds scary, but it's not. It's been around for a while. There are other brands of devices out there. The one that we have is the Alma Duo. It has been approved for men and women, and it uses it's high-intensity shock, but the way that it works is it's not painful at all. The prior devices actually are painful. They're loud. They're noisy. Everybody knows what you're doing when you go in the room and you can hear it. This one is very quiet. It's very discreet. All of the treatments are done very privately in our office. Consultations can be done over the phone. So you don't even have to come in and talk to me face-to-face about it if you don't want to. So we kind of get that initial embarrassment factor out of the way. But I think it's something that is important to talk about because it's a big deal for people's overall health and also their relationships. We see a lot of relationships crumble, and sex is a big deal in relationships. And if that part goes out the window, then, maybe there's something that we can do to help that.
All right, so you covered it for men.
Yep.
With the shockwave therapy for ED. What about low libido in women? How do you address that?
So it works the same way. It's blood flow. We're increasing blood flow basically with this device. And it's just different placement in women, obviously, but it's the same thing. It's pain-free. It's a quick 15-minute treatment. And we see it a lot with most of the women coming in are in that perimenopausal, postmenopausal period. So there's also changes in your hormones that can cause dryness and things like that that make having sex uncomfortable. So we are helping them as far as that aspect goes. And as early as one treatment, we've had people come back and report changes. So there's been a lot of happy customers, both men and women, with this. And we're happy that we can offer it.
Again, quality of life,
Exactly.
Making it accessible to everybody.
Yes.
Talk to me a little bit about IV vitamins. I've heard a lot about that. My niece has a business in Detroit, actually, that is involved with that. Immune-boosting shots, so maybe cover that fairly briefly as we are. I'm watching the clock tick now, and I got a lot more to talk to you about.
I know. We could spend all day in here.
Yes.
So the vitamins we've been doing for a long time, it's gotten more popular since COVID. I think more and more people are looking at ways that they can boost their immune system. So we have quick shots that you can come in and do a shot in your arm. Takes 2 minutes to run in and do that. And basically, we are pumping you full of either vitamins or antioxidants or whatever it is that you choose, or we can help you choose the right combination for you and just help you to stay healthy. I had one woman that came in. She said, I always get sick anytime I'm around anybody that's sick. She was in a room with 3 people. All 3 of those people got COVID at the same time. She did not. And she swears it's because she's coming in weekly for her immune boosting shot. So I love it. And I love that if you have 45 minutes to kill, you can come and sit in the recliner and actually get an IV infusion where we're loading you full of fluids too. So pumping up your fluids, and we can put the same things in it. We can put vitamins for energy, for immunity. We even have a beauty drip. We have a weight loss drip. We have everything.
Beauty drip.
Yes. Yep. There's things you can put in there to help with your hair, skin, and nails. But we go over that in your consultation, and we can help you choose. You don't have to know what you want, but it just makes people feel great. And who couldn't use some extra energy right now?
Amen, sister. Hydrofacial. There's an expression I've not heard. It's all part of your skin health regenerative program, I guess.
So for the skin, we offer all different kinds of things. Basically, whatever you walk through the door, whatever your concern is, we can address. Whether it's skin laxity, deep lines and wrinkles, we have every laser under the sun that we can use. And then we have these other treatments like a hydrofacial, or we do stim peels, things like that are, I don't want to say less invasive because the lasers aren't invasive, but it's just a milder treatment. The hydrofacial is basically we're cleansing out your skin. We're extracting all of the gunk from your pores, and the cool thing is that you can actually
squeezing them, right?
Without squeezing them. It's all done. It's all done mechanically. No. So it's not painful at all.
Yeah.
It's not painful. I do tell people it's not the relaxing, you're going to fall asleep in a spa type setting. It's a medical facial. So we are really getting in there, cleaning out your pores, and you get to see what comes out, which for people, most people say, oh, gross, I don't want to see that, but they all look. Everybody looks. And then they want to compare. Is that the grossest you've ever seen? And you always say, no, that's not the grossest, even when it is. But it's amazing what our face collects from the environment, from what we put on our face. Even if you have good skincare, I clean my skin all the time, exfoliate, and I still get these, and I'm surprised by what comes out. So it's a great thing that people can do monthly, quarterly, just for skin health.
Well, we are down to our final minute. I don't know how that happened. There were a few other things to get to, but that just means you'll have to come back again, and we can
I would be happy to
cover a little bit more on that. It's Marino Health and Wellness, as I mentioned earlier, right off the website, so I know this is probably right. A healthcare team has been assembled, experienced in all aspects of pain management and medical aesthetics, and I think we covered quite a bit on both of those. Your location is 50 Nashville Road in Londonderry. How far off of 93? It's a pretty quick ride, right?
It is. It's a hop, skip, and a jump. It's right there. We're in a big gray building with a giant clock up top. So we say, look for the clock tower.
Sure. Non-surgical joint pain relief. So many more things to talk about. Yes, financing is available. And for the knee procedure that you spoke about, Medicare is going to cover it in many cases, right?
Yes.
All right, terrific. Well, Rachel Marino, it's been an informative 20 minutes, and I hope you'll come back and we'll finish up unfinished business here.
Absolutely. Thank you.